how does telepathic healing occur? And I'm energy healer using telepathic methods to heal people. So I'm in this video going to describe how I theorized this can happen before I did it and practiced it, and it worked from my theory and knowledge of the yogic sciences, right? So I'll give you the theory of it and how I'm doing it and what's the sensation and how what feeling happens and what actually happens, when I'm doing it, physically and so forth, right? So I want to ask you a great favor. If you like the contents of my video, please do not forget to like and subscribe to my channel. This will greatly help, the algorithms of my channel to be able to reach out to more people. For those who don't know me, I am Osman. I'm a master master level energy healer, bioenergy healer, and with telepathic healing capabilities, specializing in uh, critical care recovery and terminal illnesses, amongst a host of other physiological, psychological, and even spiritual ailments, especially alleviating the adverse effects of involuntary Kundalini awakening. I'm also an advanced level yoga and meditation teacher, having been practicing this art for almost 50 years and teaching for 44 years. And in that period, I've studied the field of yoga and spirituality sciences, not only from a yoga perspective, but from other cultures, multiple cultures globally, and gleaned what I felt is the most powerful, important aspect, simplified it for the 21st century, creating my own unique protocols that are faster, easier, more effective, cutting out the frills to bring about results quicker, right? Because I really struggled in getting certain results so long, and people need not struggle. I found that there could have been a shorter way, and I found a path, a shorter cut, and I teach the shorter way, right? To that end, I now have students in over 100 countries. I've created various protocols, and my favorite protocol is a 5-minute yoga and meditation program, which you can download for free in return for a subscription to my blog from my website, yogawellness786.com, and where you can also get more information about my services. Please remember, my therapies are also all natural based and not a replacement for medical treatment. So, what's the theory of telepathic healing? Theoretically, the most important point on telepathic communication and healing is my knowledge of the functions of the various chakras in the body. And through meditation, I developed, all my chakras, and I could feel, the throbbing of each chakra, before I became energy, or folk energy healer telepathically, right? So, because I used to just heal by prayer or by touch, prior to doing it telepathically. And then I understood that the sixth chakra, the third eye chakra, right? And I'm just pressing it. I don't believe you feel the throbbing here when the sixth chakra, starts activating, right? You feel the throbbing in this area, right? This just between the two eyebrows and slightly up here. There's like a hollow in your skull, even in this region. So, it is said that that is the way in which you can communicate with entities and in other frequencies, right? Telepathic communications can occur, through this. Then I said, okay, I've got this energy. Let me send the energy to that center as a broadcast center, and let it broadcast. I instruct it to send it to who I want it to go to. So I say, okay, maybe Tom in Ghana is sick. So I just think of Tom in Ghana, say, oh, energy, please send your healing to remove the migraine headaches from Tom in Ghana, the Tom that I'm thinking of. I'm thinking of this particular Tom. There's probably 1,000 Toms in Ghana, right? But I'm thinking of this Tom and this thing. And I found Tom is feeling the energy. And sometimes I'm losing my thought. I'm thinking this thought, that thought while I'm doing it. It takes about an hour, right, to send. Sometimes my mind is not fully on Tom, or very often it's not fully, but it still goes to Tom because I made the intention, to send it. And all I do is I'm raising my energy, through my Kriya practice that I learned from Paramhamsa Yogananda's technique, and I simplified it, because it's a little bit complicated how he teaches it. And I felt not necessary for all those frills. Just do a simple thing like a push and manually raise the energy, the Kundalini energy, right? I bring it up, and then I will it to go to forehead, and I feel the forehead sending it out like it's gushing out of my forehead, like I'm blowing it out from this. So, and I'm not blowing it directly into Tom, I'm just blowing it out. And also I know the theory, this is an intelligent energy. I told it, it's going to find Tom and it's going to, on its own, it's going to go. So I'm not sending the energy to Tom. All I'm doing is I'm giving the instruction and I'm sending it to this area only in my forehead, right? And later, when I learned the advantages, and about the consciousness of the pineal gland and so forth, that it goes up and then it comes, from the pineal gland into the third eye chakra and goes. So I feel like if I focus on it, it's throbbing, right? And there's a light permanently on inside my head, right? I'm blind, I cannot see. I'm 100% blind the last 2.5 years, and zero. I don't know if you put the light on or light off. I don't know. I just switch the light on in this room, for the video. And then once the video is done, I switch it off. I save a lot of electricity because I don't need light at all, right? Because I can't see light, right? And but I feel it through, and there's a light here on 24/7 for the past 3 years. It just came on. So I remember, because I had the Saamadhi experience and the bliss experience from a very young age, and I met other advanced level yoga meditators who haven't experienced and they asked, do I see the white light? I said, no, I don't see any white light in the forehead. And then they used to be despondent that I'm maybe lying to them, that I had the bliss experience, something. They look like, oh, okay, he doesn't know what he's talking about. I could see, because I'm clairsentient. I can just know what they're thinking. Right? So, okay, so this thing, I don't know, but I had the experience. But I experience it fast forward, right? It doesn't mean you need your third eye to experience blissful, right? The bliss experience, it like explodes. You don't need the third. The third eye is not necessary for it, right? But people, they developed up to the third eye, who's fully developed the third eye, they still don't know. And I met people who's 10 years. His third eye is open for 10 years, completely open. He can see with the third eye clearly for 10 years, but he can't go beyond that. He doesn't know. And I've experienced, the bliss and, this thing without opening, fully. Of course, I had that one experience. And it is open in certain degrees, right? In certain levels, but not from a visual perspective, right? It was open for that one moment and never opened again. And I regret closing it, at that moment and being afraid. And I should have kept it open and learned how to open and close it at will, which I don't know how to do. So probably it needs sufficient power. And once the pineal gland reaches the power level, then I'll be able to open it completely and then see anywhere, any distance, the patient. And we can see when the third, you can see into the body, the energy, you see the energy, what's happening in everyone, where the blockages is and so forth. When that happens, I can't see that. So I'm just raising it, bringing it to the third eye and letting it go, because I understand that this energy, the Kundalini, is an intelligent energy. It knows better than me. So once, let me explain to you how intelligent this energy is. I want this energy to fix maybe a cut, or a certain problem, in the brain, right? A headache in the brain, a migraine, right? And I instruct it to go there. But what it went and doing, busy fixing something else in the abdomen, right? And I said, but that's not the instruction I gave. I gave the instruction to fix but it identified that there was a more serious problem in the abdomen that needed urgent attention, immediate attention, and this can wait. And when that got fixed, then it went and fixed what I wanted it to fix. That's that intelligence of that energy. So I know, I just speak to it like it's a person. I mean, it's not a person. There's no vision that I see or anything. I just feel it like an electrical, massive electrical energy. I just instruct. I just say, mindfully, please go and heal Tom in Uganda, and I push the energy and I just release it. Bring it only to, my job is to bring it to the forehead and leave it, right, and push it out, and it's going to find its way and do its magic after that. And that's how I do the telepathic healing. So hope that information helps you. It's a very basic, of rudimentary way of describing it, and not going into hopefully a lot of technical terms and jargon. And there's a lot of things that theory that goes behind it, and the various chakras. And actually, the actual healing process is comes from the root chakra. It has to go through the solar plexus chakra, which is the energy. It got a huge store powerhouse of energy, right? And from there, it transmits the energy from the solar plexus chakra into the pineal gland. The pineal gland then sends it to the third eye chakra, and the third eye chakra then pushes it out, and then the energy goes and finds the person and heals the person. That is what actually is happening, theoretically. And now I even feel it. I feel the a pulsation in the soul when I'm pushing the energy, pulsating the solar plexus chakra, and the solar plexus chakra is then sending the power, because it's a powerhouse, it's a large reserve of power, to the pineal gland. Pineal gland is throbbing and sends it through the third eye chakra, and then I'm feeling it throbbing, and I feel like pushing out, like a wind pushing out. Like there's a flow. I'm pushing out, and then it goes to the person that I'm intending to, irrespective of where they are. Instantly, they're feeling it, right? And let me give you a description, a most amazing telepathic uh, healing that I experienced in my life, that I've done, and I cannot forget it, right? So I was in Turkey, in Istanbul, and there was a bordering city where they had experienced the earthquakes, and there was this massive earthquakes, and so many people died, and the people's homes all were crushed, and they had containers, and families were living in containers, and they had this electrical bulb with this small wire into every home, and the light was on in this container. And this patient person contacted me by phone, right, by WhatsApp, and they were speaking to me, and fortunately she could speak English. I would say it feels like 99% of Turkey cannot speak English, right? So this lady, could speak English, and she was having this severe headaches, and panic attacks, right? So she used to suffer from anxiety and panic, and after the earthquake, whenever there's any noise and she feels the earth, it used to overpower the panic attacks and the anxiety, and she couldn't, and all the medications and the hospital treatments and all was not working. So she heard about my this thing, and she wanted us. Okay, let me, the first session always for all my patients is always, you don't pay until you experience the first session. After, if you feel satisfied, then only you pay, right? I get you to experience a session before. If you feel this is not something for you, or you're not feeling, or it's not going, you're not what I'm saying, or it's not going to work for you, you can abandon it, no problem. You don't have to pay, right? Because I want you to get a taste of it before, you pay, and you convinced. They don't take money, and people, say no. I felt, and give me negative vibes and negative feeling, right, that I've cheated them and so forth. So this particular person, I'm speaking to them, and I said, okay, now I want you to sit comfortably, because you must be receptive to the energies better. You don't necessarily have to sit, you can walk around, but if you focus and you're relaxed and calm, it's going to be more effective, because you're more receptive to the energy, and the energy can work better. If you're moving around, then your energy is going to be diversified to your motion and your movement, and your focus is on other things. This focus is going to help more. So I get there to sit down, and she was sitting in a chair, and I said, just close your eyes and don't lie down, don't sleep, try to be awake. A lot of people, they feel so calm when I send the healing, they fall asleep, because I wanted to feel something, right? So that she knows, right, whether she feels or doesn't feel, whether she sleeps or don't sleep, it's still going to work. Actually, it's going to work better, if the person sleeps. But they're not going to be convinced that I'm doing the healing. I needed them to feel the energy, right? And then after that, if they want to sleep, no problem, right? During the session. So I told her to sit up and stay awake, and I'm going to send the energy. It's going to take about 45 minutes to an hour, and then I will call you once it's finished, right? And then she says, okay. So I will now sit. So I sat cross-legged, and I was sending the energy willfully, like how I explained, right? And then I called her after to see if she felt anything, right? I always phone the customer after that. What did you feel? Say, oh my God, she was like in shock, and she was bewildered, shocked and bewildered, saying, What did you do? How did you do this?" She said, "You know what happened? In the container, the lights started to go on and off, and it burst the light bulb. I felt like energy filling the room because it's a metal small space. No other patient of mine described it that because they wasn't sitting inside a container, a metal container, right? This was the only patient sitting inside a metal container, and with the electrical light with a very thin, not a big 220-volt electrical light that's connected to a massive electrical center, right? So this probably an informal lighting system, that just to create light there. I haven't seen it. I haven't went there, because this from the description. It blew the bulb, and she felt the energy like like circulating and filling that room, and the lights went off. And that was the most amazing experience that I encountered with a patient. And all the other patients, of course, they feel like calmness. That's the main thing, they feel the calmness, overcoming them, after the session, whenever I call them. Or some people, they feel, there was one patient that was feeling extreme pain in the brain. I said, always why I phone you is if there's pain, call me and say, when it becomes unbearable, to stop, right? Because sometimes there's some physiological problem it's repairing, and if it's becoming beyond your ability to bear, then I can stop at that point and continue the next day, and do it in gradations, in increments, until the pain is completely gone, right? So hope that description of my telepathic healing capabilities, and how I'm doing it and what's involved, helps you, and take care of yourself always.